who blockaded the main entrance earlier this morning have been arrested, and clashes with police continue. Let us now cross to our reporter who's monitoring the situation for us. She is at Wits University, Criselda Lewis. Chris, good morning to you. What is the situation like currently?
Well, the visuals that you're seeing are live at Wits University at the stage where students have regrouped and are now threatening to go and disrupt several of the classes that are underway on the university campus at this stage. There are hundreds of them at this stage. Some of the students who were in lecture rooms a bit earlier on this morning have been disrupted. They've been told to move away from the entrances of the university lecture halls, and students now say that all their cries have fallen on deaf ears. They're going to regroup at this stage and try and find a way forward. Also exacerbating the situation at this point is the arrest of more than 15 of the students this morning, accused with blocking one of the main entrances at Empire Road at the Bromfontein campus of Wits University. If you can look towards this side where I am at the moment, let me bring in Makaketla Mutlabe, our journalist who's been with us since this morning. Makaketla, if we could just move towards this direction. You've been here since 5 o'clock this morning. Certainly the numbers have grown.
Of course, Criselda, earlier this morning, we saw some scuffles between the students as well as the police. The students were trying to block the gates from the Empire Road and stopping every car that was trying to get in. And of course, that's where we saw some scuffle between the police and as well as the students. And of course, a few minutes later, we saw some arrests being made. And that's why now some of the students are at the Hillbrow police station as we're speaking. So obviously, that action of arrest has actually agitated the students. As you can see now, they want to disrupt an activity on the main campus as we're speaking right now.
I want to talk about the police presence. If we look at the protests last year, in your view, are we seeing a heightened police presence this time around?
You know what? I covered this protest last year. I've never seen such huge police presence on campus, and that's why the students are angry. They could be feeling intimidated by the huge presence on the campus, and of course, some of them indicated the fact that they feel that their space has been invaded by the police. That's why now they want to feel a bit, agitated. They are a bit agitated towards activities on the main campus. They don't want to see anything going according to plan of the university.
Any truth by these allegations made by students that perhaps police were heavy-handed in their approach? What did you see?
Well, what is so, of course, police were actually involved in physical fight with the students. But of course, the students also fighting
had a
back.
role to play in that.
Yes, of course, had a role to play in that, and perhaps trying to protect themselves from police, and whom students believe that the police were heavy-handed. They were armed, so they feel a bit intimidated and their lives were in danger. That's why they decided to actually, fight back.
Makaketla, we're just going to hold it there for a few seconds. Makaketla Mutlabe will join us throughout the course of the day as we continue bring you rolling coverage. Students have advanced towards my left here, still continuing to threaten to disrupt those lectures, saying that that's exacerbated by the fact that many of the students who they claim were peacefully protesting were arrested this morning. We did go to the Hillbrow police station a few minutes ago, and we managed to speak to some of them who are saying they believe that the actions of police are unwarranted and they want those students to be released as soon as possible. We'll try and move towards the direction where the students are at this stage. We'll move with that. Apologies there for the broadcast. If it's a bit shaky, of course, live visuals coming from the Wits University, where you see some of the other students are towards the side. Let me speak to some of them actually, just for a few seconds, if they were actually some of the students who were in class this morning. Hello students, were you in class this morning? Was it disrupted at all? What sense are you getting?
Yeah.
All right, let's chat.
We are getting a real sense of violence, but it's I'm going to hand you over to my colleague Steve over here.
Okay, Steve, what did you experience? Were you in class this morning? What happened? Do you feel intimidated at all by what's taking place here?
I was actually in an implied mass lecture when I came in. Guy came in and told us to get out, and he said he wasn't going to repeat himself, so obviously we got out. I honestly feel intimidated. As long as there's no violence, I feel fine, but I'm still intimidated by the fact that they're kicking me out of my lectures. I'm paying to be here, and at the moment I'm not allowed to, so I'm not really sure how to feel.
All right, so are you going to leave the campus now? Are you at all worried about your studies, perhaps with exams, and how you're going to be able to make it through?
I'm probably going to go home now, depending if I'm allowed to get home. I'm not sure if I'll be allowed to leave, but I'm probably going to go home. In terms of exams, they might be postponed or cancelled, but I'm sure we'll eventually write them, so I'm not too worried about that. I'm sure hopefully the varsity and the country will fix the situation by the time the exams happen, but I'll just have to see.
All right, there.
It's not up to me, so.
All right, there you have it. Some of the students who were in lecture rooms this morning saying that they were told to get out of those lecture halls, saying that they were not allowed to be in those lecture halls. They should also participate in the action that is taking place outside. But many of the students have advanced to different areas around the university, and at this stage, while the university contends, while the management of the university contends that lectures will go ahead unhindered, it certainly doesn't seem to be that case this morning, as you heard one of those students indicating that they were taken out of lectures this morning. Some of them are going to go home. Many of those who want to attend classes here this morning are obviously going to find other activities, I guess, to participate in this morning. But many of them standing around, I guess those who are not participating in the action. We'll bring you rolling coverage from Wits University as these students move to the different directions. But just to give you a bit of an idea, Sama Mbalo, if you could just point towards that direction. Students have moved towards that direction at the moment. We'll try and catch up with them again. But the threat of disrupting lectures at Wits University this morning continues, and certainly that has happened. Students have already spoken about it. Back to you in studio.
That's our SABC reporter Griselda Lewis broadcasting live from the Wits campus. As you've heard correctly, a couple of minutes ago she was at the Hillbrow police station looking at those 15 students that were arrested and of course going through that process. It is a live and developing story, so we'll stay with it. You don't have to tune anywhere else.